My name is John, and I live in Tampa, Florida. And 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with mesothelioma. A complete surprise. Even though 60 years ago, I was exposed to asbestos in the Navy. And then when I got out of the Navy in 1955, I went to work for a plumbing contractor and was exposed again. And then a couple of years later, I left, went to work for another contractor and was exposed, covering boilers with asbestos. And then a couple of years go by and I go to work for a paper company and find out that felts that they use on the paper machines were loaded with asbestos. And I was exposed there. It wasn't until a couple years ago when I was operated on for my gallbladder that they discovered that I had fluid in one of my lungs. The surgeon asked me if it was okay to take the fluid out. I said, certainly. And then they analyzed it and found out that there were fibers embedded in the fluid, in the lung. And so we started a whole process of doing exploratory surgery to see what was in the lung. They found the fibers, but no tumors, luckily. Nothing in the lymph nodes, just these fibers plastered on my left lung. And then one day, my wife is watching television in the kitchen and I'm watching television in a TV room, and we both see this same ad. And I sort of filed it away and she filed it away, all right. And so at the evening meal we were talking and I said, I saw this ad on television in regard to mesothelioma. And I said, this outfit is in St. Louis. And they had a telephone number, but I didn't write it down. She says, well, how would you like the telephone number? I wrote it down. So anyways, in a day or two, I call a number, 800 number, and talked to somebody out there, and they said they would send me a book in regard to mesothelioma as soon as possible. And within the next day or two, I had the book and got to read about mesothelioma, which I knew nothing about. All the people from the law firm that's representing me coming out of St. Louis have been very cooperative, came to the house, interviewed me, sent out engineers to interview me, talk about the different exposures that they had, different companies, from boilers to circulators to pipe covering to all types of asbestos covered materials. And for a long time, we didn't pay much attention to our exposure. We just thought we were invincible, I guess. And also that the companies didn't inform us as much as they possibly could have of what our exposure could be and what the risks were. I was very fortunate in being represented by this company from St. Louis that's been very compassionate in regard to my care and also what compensations that I may be available to me because of this exposure. I'm not going to buy a new car, a new house, a new boat or anything, but I'm concerned about my care if I have to go into long-term care, or my wife, who was also exposed to a lot of these things because I brought them home on my clothes. I've been very satisfied with making a decision to contact MRHFM, a law firm in St. Louis, in regard to the mesothelioma. They've been very helpful, and that I know that the outcome is going to be satisfactory, and that myself, my wife, and my children are all benefiting from their expertise in trying this case in regard to my exposure.